Good evening, greetings, Jesus Funketeers. Tim Fielder here. Just had to play that theme song again, which I find very solemn, a little melancholy, but also uplifting from Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien. I don't know why I'm on this alien kick lately. It's because I'm feeling quite enthusiastic about Alien Earth. So decided instead of going for my usual theme song by my brother Boston Fielder that I would try a little Jerry Goldsmith today. Tried once again to get TikTok working, and TikTok is misbehaving. I hope you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can't hear me, that's okay. Hello, blurty womanness. Hello, sight for sore eyes. Hey, that's pretty cool. Username there. Good to see you folks this evening. I am Tim Fielder. Tim Fielder, getting a little tongue tied here. Tim Fielder, visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. This is live drawing with Tim Fielder. I am Tim Fielder, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I work. How I work, like I do every day. Lots of drawing and lots of pontificating, mostly about irrelevant stuff, but maybe a little bit relevant. Let's just go here. Okay, do straight ahead. All the camera angles that matter are working. And now what we're going to do here is we are going to just do a little warm up first. Now, yesterday my friend Tone was telling me, yo man, you need to use Kling. You need to use Kling AI because I had done some animation work. Just a quick review. Blurty Womanness, I want you to check this out. So next month I will be starting on Maddie's Rocket as a film. That's what I'm going to be doing. And part of doing that will require, let's go here. I'm going to show you what was done yesterday. Is that it? No, that's not it. That is not it. I'm missing one thing. Oh, we have to open up. It would probably be helpful to open up Runway. Let's go log into Runway ML and get started. Now, I purchased the full-on version here, but this is some pretty creepy stuff here. I'm going to go. I don't know why that's frozen there. We're not going to worry about it for now. Let's see here. Don't worry about that for now. What we'll do is go to desktop. There we go. All right, now. So check it out. So this is an image I did of Maddie. God, so very long ago. God, 2016, 2017, and I always dug it. And I moved this into a left. This is Runway a left. And the idea is to be able to do Maddie as a, how would I call it, as a animated film. And the idea is to do it as an animated film that I'll be able to do it primarily in-house. So this was the first sample we did, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was interesting. I thought that was kind of cool, but obviously it's messing up here because this is a sand dune here to the side. But there's something about the sizing I like. I wish we could keep that sizing. But this is the one I think I preferred. You see? So now I would not use all of this animation. I would use up till right about, whoops, hold on. Let's go back here. Let's go back. There we go. I'll probably end up using right to about there. Right? Just as she reaches the edge. So my feeling is, I wonder how many people would dig seeing Maddie's Rocket animated, where it looked like the graphic novel, and it was something that would do that type of thing. But one of the things I wanted to try here, because I used Gen 4, right, we're going to go back to here. We're going to go back to what we had. And video. Okay, we're good there. And this is Gen 4 Turbo, which is the one we had here. So we go there. All right, now I'm going to try it again here very quickly. And then I want to try Kling. try cling. Cling is cool. And then, of course, I'll get to some breakdowns on hello, Dr. excuse me, I'm so sorry. The endowed chair, Dr. Walter David Grayson of McAllister College, one of the many, a few handful of many Ivies in the country. McAllister College is known as the launching pad of the career of one Kofi Annan, who was the UN bigwig there, particularly during the Clinton administration. Lord, the good old days of the Clinton administration, right? Anyway, so let's try something here. We're going to grab here. Let's go to Matty. We're going to go here to our. This is Adobe Bridge. I have to be more communicative with. And also, please let me know if the audio is coming through. I'm hoping it is. Next month, sometime, I will be purchasing a new mic and a new stand, but I just gotta wait till next month before I do that. So bear, bear, bear with me. All right, that's fine. There we go, right there. So I like that one. That's pretty cool there. So I'm gonna drag and drop this again here. I'm gonna do that. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I love the. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I'm gonna take this. That was a way to copy the settings here. We're going to 16 by 9 because we want that widescreen. We'll bring that up. All right, there. That's pretty good. All right. All right. What we're going to do now is I am going to. Oh wow, that's pretty good. All right. Let's reuse the settings. All right. So here's a female astronaut crouches slowly in the foreground. Right. Crouches on a sand dune in the foreground. I know foreground is misspelled. Hold on, put the E there. And again, I said on my reading glasses a few weeks ago, and I haven't replaced them. A singer in the foreground, and very slowly creeps to the edge of the dune. Okay. Very slow camera zoom in. Let's see what happens. We're going to say 5 minutes, 5 seconds. So that is now rendering. So this is here. You can see in Runway they have this is the swatch here. The upper right is version 1, version 2, and version 3. And right now appears to be 10 seconds. That's pretty interesting here. Also, a few other things I've been playing with here. I was watching Star Trek. I got my alien clothes there. There's Instagram. We don't need to worry about that. This is interesting here. So I've been using AI a little bit to experiment with some things. Let's quickly take a look here at LinkedIn, which I think we're good there. Okay, we're good on YouTube. You know, chat is acting so weird. Why does it act so weird? And User Funk Dispatch, YouTube is working. Facebook is working well. Okay, very happy with that. All right, Instagram. Okay, it's going, and of course Twitch is now going well as well. Okay, so why do I have these pictures of this kind of colorful user interface? Because I've been working with this is clean. I'll get to that in a second here. I've been working with Chat GPT 5 and Manus. Manus is another program. Oh, okay. So here's what's happening here. So you can see is I am generating what is called a graphic novel scheduler. This graphic novel scheduler is pretty interesting because it allows us to let's jump to live here. Okay, let me go there. What it allows us to do is to schedule our programming, our art, to do the things that we need to have done to make our work more efficient with our schedules and everything. So here, the program has been writing a lot of this stuff here. As you can see here, the code is being written now. It's pretty crazy. And here, the graphic novel variant here. Um, let's go. And here, I've reached my data limit because I haven't really paid for um, graphic novel scheduler yet. But what I am going to do is I'm going to open this up. I'm going to see if we can open this up here. Maybe not. Might not be able to open it up. But I will do this though. I will open this one up. So I don't know if anything is going to open up just yet. But what I will show you guys here is I'm constantly working on how to be more efficient. I'm going to go here to index. And hopefully we will open up index. As a matter of fact, let's go to the downloads over here. And I will see where it says, hopefully it says index. Index. There we go. So 8:45. I don't know if this is going to work, but I guess what we're going to try. We're going to open. So that opens up this program. So right now, everything is interesting and it's kind of sort of there, but it's not working these type of things here are out of whack. But I am working on this, and eventually, as I get everything working correctly, I will upload it for other folks to use. Okay, enough of that. All right, so let's go here. It looks like this version here is finally ready to show. This is version 3. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow. That looks incredible. Look at that. Now, I would stop it, say, right there. There. I wouldn't let it get so far. But that was pretty incredible. You know, I wanted to do this years ago. I tried to do this years ago, but let me be frank. After Effects was kicking my butt, but that looks incredible. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I love that. I love that. So pretty impressive there. I think a feature film or a series of short episodic episodes for Maddie's Rocket is in the future. Drinking my cream, caffeine stuff in there. See what's happening here. Okay, so we're looking pretty good there now. That was runway, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this, right? And now I'm going to go to clean because what I'm doing now is playing around with several elements here. And I'm going to say I got it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to, let's see, we're going to go to AI video generator. Okay, good. I'm going to say I got it. So here we go. So we have here a start and an end. But what we want to do is right now set to 2 picks. I wonder if we could add 3 picks. But for right now, we'll stick with that 1. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and I want to just try something. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to see. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to the George Waddy invasion. George Waddy is Maddie Waddy's father from Maddie's Rocket. And I'm going to keep it simple. Instead of confusing the software, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here, choose that one, and I'm going to drag this one right there. We're going to see how this looks here. Now, I wish there was a way I could add a 3rd frame. That's the one thing I will say that is somewhat annoying. But it's okay. I'm going to go here. Whoops. Let's go back here to end. Okay, good. Now we're going to go here. I'm going to pick this one. There we go. So that's loading in. So this is clean. So I'm very interested in seeing how this puts everything together. I will leave the prompt kind of separate. Oh, add sound effects with video generation. That's interesting. Okay. Mission control. I don't know what that is. I'm not, like I say, one of the reasons why I'm subscribing to these AI animation programs is I want to actually begin to experiment with how these things work, so I can be somewhere where I need to be. This is frames, clean professional mode. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's hit generate. Let's see what happens. Task generation in progress. I did not add any descriptions to this, so we will now see what rocks and what rolleths. Rolleth is obviously seeing a little bit more Shakespeare than I would have heard. We'll go into that. I'll talk about that next week. Let's see here. All right, something is happening. Something is rendering. We're going to leave that alone for a while. Okay. All right. My name is Tim Fielder, visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. We have Infinitum and Afrofuturist Tale is my book. Graphic novel here. Please buy. If the spirit hits you, got to pay out that advance one day. Maddie's Rocket, book 1. Presently working on book 2 and 3. And along with my writing partner, Walter Grayson, this is the graphic history of hip hop. Presently working on volume 2 and 3. Hopefully we'll be able to get the floppy version in the next month and a half or so they can be ready in time for this coming semester of the school year. We'll see once I really dig into that next week. So let's go here. Let's see what's happening with Kling. Still rendering. It's okay. Still rendering. Okay, remember that one. That one was pretty good there. I prefer the 3 mode version variant. That's what I prefer. Like here. Let's see here. Did they have that? I don't know if they did. Desert silhouettes. Yeah, you all remember these from last night. This one was the one that really blew my mind. Down there coming up here really blew my mind. Oh, no, that was pretty awful. I think it was the 3rd one that was pretty crazy. This one was amazing. Oh, no, it was not. That was not the one. It wasn't this one. It was that. No, it wasn't this one. Oh, my goodness. It was one of the earlier ones. Looked very good there, but they just were walking too fast. So I think in the second one here, yeah, that I thought was amazing. That was pretty incredible. I mean, look at that. Isn't that amazing? You draw this stuff and you think to yourself, eh, but then you look at it and you go, wow, it's incredible. Okay, so we'll turn that off right now. Let's go here onto clean, still generating. Oh, here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm certain this is not going to look good, but let's see what happens. Whoa. Oh my God. Whoa. Wow. That is pretty insane. Look at that. Wow. And what's so bizarre about it is that the flying saucer was actually modeled in 3ds Max. I modeled it and put it out, and then I do what's called a paint over technique. That is pretty insane. Look at that. And it's got sound on this. It's crazy. I wouldn't use the sound, but that is pretty alarming. See, that's the thing. I wish that there were a way to do a third frame. Let's try multi elements. Nope. See, if they had like a third keyframe, that would be dramatically better. But I don't think they rock with that. They don't rock with that, which is unfortunate. Anyway, enough of that. We've played around. We'll play with it a little bit every day to try to get better with it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the comment. I'm going to do a little bit of fixing up things again. Tim Fielder, live drawing with Tim Fielder. I do it generally 5 days weekly, Monday through Friday. I start streaming in the evening. Try to do it as early as 7:38, but I can start as late sometimes as 9:30. And I know it's a little bit late for some folks, but some folks, that's the way it rocks. Again, very soon I hope to start a daytime uh, streaming thing because I think what's been happening is this thing allows me to become much more effective with my breakdowns. Well, not number of breakdowns with all of my work. So let's start doing a little bit more work here. As you can see here from last night, this was much rougher. But what's happening here is I've been going through tightening up some of the boards. Right? Let's see, go here. Because I was looking at this thinking to myself, I could draw that much better so it's clearer to my editor. I've been taking way too long to turn this in, but we are making progress. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. All right. So I like the idea of the dead guy here in the couch. So you see this dead guy here? This is the president of the bank. He's dead, right? And the character Jim is. Hello, Robert Pruitt. How you doing? Uh, he's broken into the room, and the comet is this comet just hit, so there are all these people here in the bank are dead. But what I want to do here is kind of spend a little bit more time. And matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is erase here just a little bit, just give myself a little cartilage, if you will, to work with. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to reduce him down. Yep. And T. There we go. So that looks better. All right, and I'll show you what I'm doing here in just a moment. So here, oops, Command D. We're going to go here. We're going to drop this guy's head back. Boom. Like that. Yes, that's what we want. Because we want it to appear that he is dead as a doornail. Right? There we go. Yes. Then his chair is like this, and this will be in kind of like a somewhat of silhouette. See? Boom. Do that. There we go. And look at his beard, his nose, open mouth. There we go. Okay. So now we have the main character who is horrified over the fact that the bank president is dead. Now, the way I have it here, he'll be like posed like that, but I'm thinking he needs to have his hands on the side of his face, like, oh my God. Right? So let's go in here and increase that size there. Again, these are just breakdowns. They're not designed to be super duper detailed. They're just there to convey the basic gesture. So when I come back around, I start doing final images just a little bit tighter here. So here, reduce that down. See? Yeah, there we go. See? See how that looks? Right there a little bit. Oop, a bit more. Bam. There we go. I'll put this shot on this guy's face. Yep. There we go. There we go. Yes. suit and tie because he's a bank messenger, a job that is now obsolete in the banking world. It's been obsolete since early to mid 20th century. All right. Then of course we have the open door behind him here, and right there. This is the open. This is the interior of the bank. I mean, interior of the office here. And just to be a little thing, I'll kind of like give myself a little perspective on here. Hello, the Charles Reese Experience. Good to see you, sir. Just to give you a quick idea of what's happening here as I'm doing my adaptation of W.B. Du Bois's The Comet. And I'm just going through my steps here to get the breakdowns done. Again, the drawings are not supposed to be tight. They're just supposed to be able to inform gesture and timing. All right, I'm going to grab this side here so you guys can see the way I work. Hello, Michael Stratford. Congratulations again on your books. So happy to see what is going on. Oh, that's what it is. This is the thing I was using with Runway. And that's amazing that that sound came up here. All right, let's go here to when I'm doing my breakdowns. Now what we're going to do here, let's go back up here. We're going to do the comment. Get rid of that. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. And here is where I decided, because sometimes it's very helpful to have multiple panels. When you have multiple panels, what ends up happening is you have the opportunity to tell more story as opposed to less. Sometimes you got to blow it out and have a big panel, but sometimes you want to try to get as much acting as possible in. So you can see here from this page, right? Guy walks in, that's pretty good. Then that happens. Now I have to position all these pages correctly because we got this one here. He walks in, he sees the bank lobby. The next page should be here. Then this one here should actually, in fact, be there. Hello, Raleigh S. Wilson. Hey, Raleigh, how you doing, man? Good to hear you. Good to see you. Not here. See you. Then go right there. All right, there we go. I like the way those break down. They're good look. And if I have to shift these around a little bit, there's one panel I want to do that I think will work better towards telling this story. And then I'll finish the lettering. I want to do a little bit of Black Prince work tonight. But again, my website, for those folks who are not entirely aware of what I do, I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. I have multiple projects that I'm working on: graphic history of hip hop, volume 2 and 3, my adaptation of W.B. Du Bois's The Comet. I'm working on Black Prince for the University of Georgia Press with writer Stephen Berry, and of course with graphic history of hip hop, as I was saying before, that's with Walter Grayson, the endowed chair, my good friend. Additionally, I'm working on volumes 2 and 3 of Maddie's Rocket. So yes, I do have a full plate. I don't know if I have any more room to take on any more projects. Even though if the project is right, I'm always intrigued, definitely. But I just have to be honest with myself. I'm fortunate enough to at least be so busy after years of kind of weirdness. But anyway, here we go. So let's see here. We're gonna go here and move this down here. So we got 4 panels, right? Here is where we're going to try to get a little acting in. So what I'm going to do here is we'll go to this page here. Right now, let's say that's probably page 27. I'm going to have to change some of the numbering here. And go here. And the numbers are off in terms of the breakdowns because I'm adding pages, blowing some scenes out, because I think it's helpful to be able to blow scenes out when you're trying to tell the story. Let's see here. I think we might have some sort of notice. I'm not entirely sure. Let's do a refresh on this here. See if someone has chimed in. Someone has said something to me. All right, and I think I will move over to Tim Fielder. I wish there was a way to be able to end 2 Facebook accounts at the same time. I think that might be fun and very useful. Very useful. I think, but that's just me. What do I know? What do I know? Anyway, so we're back here again. LinkedIn is running well. Okay, someone has responded to me, and this is it's a kind of an interesting offer. Won't worry about that. Facebook is going well. Instagram again is continuing, and Twitch is running well. Now you might ask why I'm working on this. Why in the world am I broadcasting to some multiple streams? It is because that is how it is done. The old world of old PR work is kind of done, and I think we just have to accept that things are changing, and that's okay. That's all right for things to change, but we have to be, God, we have to be courageous. Oh, well, maybe I'm a scaredy cat, so I'm not courageous. But we have to be aware that a change is upon us. That's why when I switched over to 3D modeling and animation, spent my time in the gaming industry, because the comic book industry had changed in the late 90s. But now the comic book industry is going through a massive change again that it will not come back from it the same way it did. That's because comics are now, as far as I'm concerned, actively moved to a virtual format. When Marvel, I forget who it was, Marvel DC, announced this week that they are moving all many of their books or some of their books over to webtoons. That is a signal that any player in the system should understand that comics are moving to a virtual format much more aggressively than it has in the past, because that's where the people are, that's where the readers are. Okay, so all right, so we're going to go here. Old wood and oak office. So that is what this image is here, right? The messenger paused and glanced about. He was not a man easily moved, but the sight was appalling. That is where he sees all the dead bodies in the bank lobby, right? Robbery and murder, he whispered to himself as he saw the twisted, oozing mouth of the president where he lay half buried on his desk. See what I'm saying? I mean, that's creepy. Then a new thought seized him. If they found him here alone, with all this money and all these dead men, what would his life be worth? He glanced about, tiptoed cautiously to a side door, and again looked. So this is where we now can go in and move our camera in to have more acting, right? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go here. Now, again, some folks would ask, why am I showing this before the book is ready? Because this is the way I believe that we should promote books. We should have audiences and participants at the beginning. They should see the projects come about in advance. Now, some people may not like that idea, and I get why they wouldn't, because it goes against traditional doctrine of how projects are released and shown. But hey, this is the way I'm working. So we will see. If it's wrong, then I have no problem with switching it up. Okay, so we're going here. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go here. And this is going to be the president of the bank. There we go. There we go. President of the bank. He's going to be dead. But out of his mouth, it's going to ooze. Right? And he's got his chair here. There we go. The ooze is coming out of his mouth. His tie. Suit. Okay, that's good. And then we will go here. See our main character. sort of, there we go, looking kind of like out of the corner of his eye. But she's really nervous now because it's like, oh my God, if they find me in here with all these dead bodies, they're gonna persecute him. You know, he's horrified. There we go. Again, these are loose drawings. There we go. I think there needs to be a more extreme look on his face. So here's what we're going to do. There we go. Again, it's all loose. All right. So you see how we have that close-in view, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Cover his mouth. Actually, nope, that's not what I'm going to do. Go here. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. Like so. Yep. So watch what I'm going to do here, guys. So we have this shot to where he's leaving, right? So he's here, the guy's there, and then we're going to go to a really intense close-up of the bank manager's mouth. And we'll go with the ooze popping out of his mouth, out of his nose. As a matter of fact, watch this. I'm going to take these eyes here, and I think it would be even better if his eyes were open. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's creepy. Yikes. Kind of gross, actually. Now, here I'm going to bring this down a little bit so we'll even up with the bank manager's head. Just going to take this. I think I will also grab this one. Now let's move that down. See how that correlates a little bit better there? So that camera view is coming in here. Again, there are other artists that would tell this story differently, but just the way I'm telling it. Right? So go here. Alright, there we go. A little shadow back there. A little shadow back here. Alright. So what's happening here is effectively, take a little sip of coffee. Main character's there. Then, page 24, I kind of, you know, messenger pause and glance about. He was not a man easily moved, but the sight was appalling. So here, let me zoom out here. That's what this is. He sees dead people in the bank lobby, right? Interior wood oak office. So that's no dialogue. The door's closed. The door's open. He rushes into the bank guy's office. Robbery and murder, he whispered to himself slowly. Saw the twisted, oozing mouth of the president where he lay half buried on his desk. See? So let's do this. It's going to be interesting. I'll take a moment to stop this. We're going to go to this one here. Yeah, right there. Okay, so let's go here. We're going to go here. in. Okay. And then other dialogue we need to lay in at other points. Here we go. So hit Command Shift 4. So you go here, right there. That is a screen capture. I'm going to pop that right there. So this goes here. Right? That's pretty effective there. All right, so that's all the dialogue that's needed there. Then the next page, we can then go here, robbery and murder. So here's what I'm going to do on this particular thing. This is taking some liberties with Du Bois's writing without altering it. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go just like that. Robbery and murder. And I'm going to put that right here. Whoops. I'm going to go here above that. Whoops. Let's move this up. So robbery and murder goes right here. Right? So this is what he's saying to himself. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this paragraph here and I'm going to, right here, I'm going to do Control Shift 4. Right? I'm going to put that narration right there. Now I can move this here. And that narration is on the bottom there. See what's happening at that page? Guy walks in, robbery and murder, he says to himself. And then we have that shot. So basically what's happening is, you see the close-up of his face, horrified. The messenger paused and glanced about. He was not a man easily moved, but the sight was appalling. Hello, Jamar Nicholas. My brethren, the vice president of the National Cartoonist Society. He does not get enough credit. Jamar Nicholas is a supreme advocate for the comics form, but from multiple communities. Just the newspaper community, the comics community, direct sales market. Graphic novel is a project Leon the Extraordinary through Scholastic. Second Vice President. I'm sorry. It still has VP on there, man. See, he's gonna try to blow me up like that. Anyway, but then he was hanging out with. Can I say about the artist who I saw you with a picture? Is it okay if I do that? Can I have permission to mention that? I don't want to go crazy with it. Let me know. If not, I won't mention because I don't want to break anyone's privacy and stuff. But let's just say Jamar hangs out with people who are above our pay grade. Okay, Lynn Johnston, the famous Lynn Johnston. So, and I'm going to advocate a little bit for the National Cartoonist Society. I intend to join very soon, and I think it behooves people who are in our community to begin to engage the National Cartoonist Society. Now, if you're a young buck, I get it. But if you're an old head, if you're bald, I mean, Jamar's not bald, but I am bald. He took my hair many years ago. That's why he has beautiful, long, luscious locks. Yes, cartoonists are for better or for worse. Now, the thing that was important about Lynn Johnston's work is that the characters in that strip aged over time, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? That's what I remember because I used to read this script coming up. So Jamar was, hey, they were chiming it up, right? And they're chiming it up because Jamar is the second vice president of the National Cartoonist Society, and they just had the Reuben Awards the other night. And I think he actually approached me about joining up with the National Cartoonist Society about a year ago, but at the time my mind went right. But like I say, almost dying helps you. This helps alter your perspective on things. So as soon as checks clear, I will, and the Philly chapter. Excuse, I'm so sorry. Jamal Nicholas is the second vice president of the National Cartoonist Society, but he is also the chair of the Philadelphia, the City of Brotherly Loves. He is the head of that chapter. So, I mean, I would join the Philly chapter, but I'm in New York, so I guess I gotta gotta represent for New York City. So, anyway, also people of color, join join National Cartoonist Society. We need to have more representation. I am a hypocrite in that I'm saying this, and I'm not in it myself, but I will immediately rectify that. Um, because, well, let's speak about this for just a quick second. Got to slum it. What do you mean, got to slum it? What do you mean, slum it? Javon says, "Oh, you mean we got to?" Well, that's not true. Let me say this. He's saying, because Jamar is an intellectual. He likes to. Hello, rain in ghetto, raining echo, raining echo. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, so how you doing? So what it is this. It is not slumming. It is not slumming. What it is that if we as cartoonists of color want to integrate ourselves into the fabric of the cartooning industry, and I submit with the troubles that the comic book industry is going through right now presently, there's now never ever been a better time to integrate ourselves into the fabric of what's going on with the general broader market of cartooning. I'm not talking about Batman, Superman. I'm talking about bigger than that. I'm talking about newspaper strips, graphic novels, the world of academia, like the Gary Trudeau types. That is, maybe it's in our best. Maybe we should be more, not aggressive. It's supposed to be fun. It's cartoon, but we should be more intentional. How about that? More intentional about participating in these systems because it's really on us. What does they say? You alone are responsible for your bibliography. And if that is the case, then maybe we should put our money where our mouth is. And I'm calling myself out by saying that. I've not done it, but I recognize I need to do it. And so, if you could, brother, please post the link to the National Cartooning Society website. And thank you so much. Again, Jamar Nicholas is the author, writer, of the artist writer of Leon the Extraordinary. You also should check out his podcast with Mike the Comic Curmudgeon Manley and Steve Connolly on their brilliant podcast, been going for several years now, called Pencil to Pencil. And they always have great interviews with cartooning and comics luminaries from all fields, comics, animation, all over. And I love it when Mike does his technical things where you show breakdowns. I think that stuff is very important. Anyway, enough of that. I've been talking a lot about this type of stuff. Let's get back to a little comic breakdown. Okay, so what I'm doing here, you can see here, the messenger paused and glanced by. It was not a man easily moved. The sight was appalling. So he's standing there and he sees all the dead bodies in the bank lobby. Then he breaks into the office. Robbery and murder, right? He whispered slowly to himself as he saw the twisted, oozing mouth of the president where he lay half buried at his desk, right? So now we can have that shot again because there's so few actors in this. It is really in the story's pacing's best interest to allow lots of silence, lots of storytelling just through image. So then a new thought seized him. If they found him here alone with all of this money, all these dead men, what would his life be worth? He glanced about, tiptoed cautiously to a side door, and again looked behind. See what I'm saying? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this. So again, part of doing an adaptation is you have to be willing to chop stuff up if need be. Okay, so now what I've done is to make it, I've made it a little bit thin here. So I'm going to take this. See how I'm breaking that dialogue up there? So I'm going to say here, I'm going to do a thingy there. Boom. All right, we're going to go right here for that. And we need to move that actually on top here. See? And then I'm going to take the other one here. Command Shift 4. So this is one of the techniques that I utilize when I'm, particularly when I'm really working with a letterer. I mean, I can do lettering, but it is, I don't be like, yo, man, I've got to do this lettering. I do not walk around thinking that I need to, uh, uh, I live for lettering. I do not. So we're going to go here. See? So we're putting that dialogue there. I'm going to move this dialogue here. Yes. Okay? So what's happening here, let's take this one here. I'm going to move this up here. Yes. And then the next one, I'm going to move right here. Yep. All right. What would this like to glance about? Okay. Okay. So this is good. I like this. He whispers slowly. Okay. Then a new thought seized him. If they found him here alone with all this money, all these dead men, what would his life be worth? Right? So he's got his hands in his head like that. And he's like, oh my God, what are they going to do to me? I'm a black man in New York City, Jim Crow in a bank where everybody's dead. He has no idea what's going on outside the building. And he's got to think, oh my God, they're going to lynch me here right on Broadway. That's what he's thinking, right? So he glanced about, tiptoed cautiously, and to a side door and looked behind. So I'm going to just have that shot there. See, I think that works. That works. See? See how the acting there is closer? Yeah, that's pretty good there. I mean, it's a little weird the way I want you to wear, but just again, these are just breakdowns. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take these three, and I'm going to do Command G as a group. See, that turns off there. Now, I'm going to go here to these three. I'm going to do Command G again, right? That's what that is. And now I'm going to select these two guys here, and we're going to once again go Command G. All right. Now, if I name these, and I'm going to have to rename some of these guys, and I might have to shift them around a little bit in the future. But see that panel there, hold on, let's go here. Turn that off. So that actually is what's happening here. Yes, this is great. So the guy's fainted in the page before his eyes open and he sees the dead body. He gets up. Oh my God. And he runs down the hallway, and when he comes up to this horrible side of the bank lobby, then he breaks into the office, and that's it. So as soon as he does that, the very next shot is this one. It's this big shot where that's another frightened look on him. And in fact, now that I'm looking at this here, see that right there? So it's really like a continuation, sort of the same shot. So what I'm thinking now, just to sell the idea, what if instead of having this kind of wide shot, because the camera's back from him, what if I did this? Let's go here. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to select here. All right? Yep, right there. I'm going to do Command Shift J. Whoops, got to select the right one. Command Shift J. There we go. So that's there. Now what I'm going to do is what I didn't do before. Now I'm going to take this particular page here. And whoops. Let's take our brush again here. That. So this time, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do close up of his eyes. Yeah, like so. So now that's even better. See what's happening with his eyes like this? This means that the sight he's seeing is absolutely horrifying. Yeah, I like that. You can even put little droplets on his face. Yep. See what I'm doing? I'm able to do that. So here what we're doing was really focusing in on the horror, that he's experiencing. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. Right. So that thing, and then you have that shot where he's looking, and this is the street. This is out to Broadway, or at least on Wall Street, and he sees nothing but dead people. I mean, so not only does he, initially he thought, okay, something horrible, maybe there's some kind of crazy bank robbery, went crazy while he was down in the vault, but when he gets outside, it's like terrible, terrible, right? So most of these here have already been lettered, right? I laid the lettering on there some while ago. Yep, I did these a few days back. I mean, it might need new lettering, but that's pretty good, pretty good. And I will still have to lay lettering on there as well. Yep, and that's 38 pages in there. I'm pretty good with that. So let's see here, and I can go back and letter these again. These are going to have to be renumbered. I wish, and if someone knows it, that would be great to know. But I wish there was an auto naming feature. Like I wish you could, like what you do in Adobe um, Bridge, you can do what's called a batch rename. I think it would be cool if you could select something here, right? And you should be able to select something from here to all the way to there, right? Right click, and you should be able to do a batch name. You have a rename there, but I don't see a batch rename. But hang on a second. Let's see. Do you have that open here? You know, there was some feature back in the day. Automate batch. Hold on. Let's see here. Batch. Mm, action. No. Hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so I wished. Hold on. Let's see here. Default action. That's the action. No. Nope. It's not there. It's just a document name. So that's what I wish. I wish there was a way to do more batch renaming. I think it would go over much better. But again, what I will do is I'll go here. Okay, the lettering's there. Lettering's there. Here's the only thing from this sequence that I'm not feeling, because I sometimes I get confused about where people are. All right, so let's go here. All right. Suppose you run down there. It isn't very helpful. It isn't very pleasant, I suppose. So that is right there. Okay, right there. Doesn't not very. And then it go, well, Jim, the teller of the newcomer hits us as new sign, said the vault clerk as he passed over the key. So there we go, right? And then we go to our next page. But the messenger, there we go. Here's where we go from our top thing here. But the messenger passed silently down the stairs. Down he went beneath Broadway, where the dim light filtered through the feet of hurrying men. Down to the dark basement beneath. Down into the blackness and silence beneath that lowest cavern. Here, with his dark lantern, he groped in the bowels of the earth under the world. See, just walking down that stairwell. He's going over here to the next page. So where I'm playing around with a bit with comic book, what the panels and borders do. So he walks in, and interior, large bank vault, right? Dark room at the bottom of the stairwell with some lights. Okay, we got that. He drew a long breath as he threw back the last iron door and stepped into the fetid slime within. So basically what's happening is that here. See? That's that letter where he first you see him struggling with the wheel on the vault. It cut the black and then it creeps open. So that's kind of like what that is. And then here at last was peace. And he broke moodily forward. See, that's cool. A giant rat leaped past him and cobwebs across his face. So this is where I can add this kind of stuff here. See these different close up of his face? I can add that stuff in there. That's pretty cool. Again, it's about taking the actions that are implied in the dialogue. Very important stuff. Very quickly, check on Facebook here. I think we're doing good, baby. I think we're doing good. Alrighty. I'm gonna go here. This is Tim Fielder. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for chiming in. Let's go to Diesel Funk back here and see. She what's happening, my man. Alright, cool. Alright. Let's go back. I think we have. Oops. Huh. I wonder if LinkedIn is. Oh, yeah, LinkedIn is still rocking. So there we go. Let's go here. Still live. Yep. Still live. Still going strong. Okay. And checking here. Checking to see. Sorry, I have to do this in case you chime in here. All right, back in Instagram. Okay, cool. So you're going to sip of coffee here. It is now 9:36. We're going to go to at least 10 o'clock here. All right. So we got this giant rat left across his foot. All right, got that. Let me go here. Let me expand this out a little bit so we can read it a little bit more. So we got this here. Zoom in just, just zoom in just a little bit here. Just a little bit. There we go. Not perfect, but let's zoom out. Whoops. Right there. There we go. So you felt carefully around the room. That's what that is, right? And then it switches to page 11, but again, these are the type of things I can shift around, right? Yeah, he felt around carefully around the room, shelf by shelf on the muddy floor, and in crevice and corner, nothing, right? Then he went back to the far end, right here, right? Then something brought him back. And I could divide that dialogue if I want to. We'll see how it goes. I'll leave that to me and my editor to sort that out. And a black wall swung on its mighty hinges and blackness yawned above. And that's where we go now. Put on with this one. See? It's, right? He entered hesitatingly. It was a long, narrow room with shelves, and at the far end, an old iron chest. So there's a chest, right? Again, over here, this is where the chest. We have him walk up on a shelf. On a high shelf lay the two missing folders, volumes, records, and others. Right? He put them carefully aside and stepped to the chest. It was old, strong, and rusty. He looked at the vast and old-fashioned lock and flashed his light on the hinges. Now I'll add that stuff there. Right? They were deeply encrusted with rust. Looking about, he found a bit of iron, and this is where we go here. Nope, go here, right there. He found a bit of iron and began to pry. This is where he opens up, and I have to put stuff in his hands here. This is where it gets a little weird. The rust had eaten 100 years, and it had gone deep. Slowly, whirling, the old lid lifted. Right, so I got to change his posing here to where he's able to see what's happening. I think I can shift that around to where I don't have to do anything different per se. Right? The oldest and was a last low-grown laid bare its treasure, and he saw the dull sheen of gold. See, that's where that goes. So before I do this, I think what I'm gonna do. Yep, I'm gonna take this one here. All right, watch this, guys. So here's, I'm gonna take that panel here, and I'm gonna do that. Nope, that's not the one. I need this one here. Yes. All right. Now I kind of already got him walking into the room here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and I'm going to erase him. I'm going to erase the dude here, but I'm going to do that with a little white. Oops. Take a pen here. There we go. All right, cool. Coolio. Here. So what I'm doing is erasing him because I want the same angle, but I want a different action. And the action is going to where he's going to be grabbing the documents. So I can put him deeper into the room here. Right. By the way, is my audio coming through? Okay, I believe it is. Should be coming through. Again, next month I'm going to really invest. It's a much more robust audio setup. I mean, I do have a sound box and all that, but I think I could do better with my. I think. Hello, viewers on YouTube. Thank you so much for chiming in. That is quickly type YouTube here. All right, who is that? Let's see here. There we go. Live drawing here. I need to mute that. All right, let's mute it. And well, that's Diesel Funk Dispatch. We're going to switch account to Diesel Funk. Okay, there we go. All righty. And thank you so much for chiming in there, for seeing that, stopping by. Appreciate it. Really do. Okay. And close that. Okay, so we have chat open on Diesel Funk, so just in case anyone responds to it, that'll be good. All right, now let's go back to this. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna erase. I'm gonna put white there a little bit more. Just need to clean it up just a little bit, just to remove. This is again. These breakdowns are mostly for my editor, so she can understand what's going on. All right, there we go. All right, so this is the interior of the vault that he's programming, but it's kind of one that's a little bit more sort of put away. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. Yep. See what's happening? So he's here looking. All right. So here he's looking, and you can see that he's found something. So this This is the vault that the president told him, hey, you go down there, man, check that out. See? And this is hat. See, messengers at that time had certain types of gear that they would wear. Boom, and there we go. All right, that's pretty good enough there. Boom, bam, ooh, here, here, here. All right. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to erase that. Whoops. I'm not going to erase that. I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit white so we can draw it because we don't want a hole. I know you guys might not quite understand what I'm doing here, but that's all right. This is just a change I have to make to this. Okay, there we go. So get here with this. And so here he is open up that drawer. So he's got it. All right. And here is where all right. So I had to drink some coffee there. We must remain caffeinated when we're working. Ah, so how you guys doing? You guys doing good? Hope so. And thank you everyone that stopped by today. Uh, I do this work because I think it's helpful. Uh, yeah, I think it's helpful to what I'm doing, but I also think it's helpful to the community at large so they can actually see these type of projects coming together. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, baby. There we go. Move that in there. So that looks better there. All right, now we'll go back here. All right, so that's pretty good. I like that. Now here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the background out of that next image here. But one of the things I will do, this, I will take, I will take this image here. Yep. And now, right here, that's one way to do it. So it goes there. There we go. There we go. All right, so he has the bar. Okay, that's good. Now, here's where I'm going to alter this because I think it needs to be altered. Hello, Uncle Dad, 1980. Good to see you. Again, I remember you talking about some kids. Now, was it Tanzania? Just waiting on you. Just send out a note, and I'll be more than willing to meet with them. Let me know. All good. No stress. No stress. All right. Now, here's the thing that I like this image, but I think there's something else I can do to it. Let's read through the dialogue again. On a high shelf lay the two missing volumes of records and others. So I got that, right? I got that. I changed that there. The only other thing I can think of is let me duplicate this one time here. I'm going to duplicate this layer. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go here, but this time I'm going to turn off one underneath. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase here. Now watch what I do here. Watch what I do. So now I'm going to take my brush, go back to black. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. See? Okay. Hat. Yes. There we go. And there we go. So that bed is open like that. And we can find the dot. So there we go. That works much better. So I'm going to delete this one here because I don't think that's needed. So meaning what I want to do is show that he's reaching up. Right? There we go. That's pretty high. Okay. All right. So in this case, that's what happens there. So he's looking up here. I'm going to take this, go to white. I'm going to remove the background from this. See, so that stands out there. So we can see he's actually grabbing at the items there. Here. All right, great. Now, here's the thing. Uh, we're going back to where. All right. On the high shelf, lay the two missing volumes of records. See, so we got that, right? And others. Put them carefully aside and step to the chest. Right? It was old, strong, and rusty. He looked at the vast, old fashioned lock and flashed his light on the hinges. So my thought is maybe what I need to do with this shot here. Is that one? Yeah, that is that one. Maybe what I need to do is I need to take this here. Yeah. And I'm going to fill that with white. Fill that with white. Okay? So here, this will be more dramatic anyway, because he has one of those kind of holder lamps. So here he's going to go, okay. There we go. Got the lamp here. Over there. Got his hand. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That works much better. Much better. Much better. So that's the lamp that he's holding. Okay, good. So we see this. So then he's over there. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Because I have to do kind of hovering over the box. And that's good. Yeah, I think I see what I'm going to do. Yes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a little bit of this. And first thing I'm going to do is remove. I'm going to kind of change his arms up a little bit. All right, let's see what happens here. So now we're going to do, what he's got is like that kind of thing happening. And I could have kept part of his arm, but I think what I'm going to do here, like this. Yep. There. There we go. Right. Go here. Right there. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but good enough. So we'll go here. Take that top part there. Right. All right. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to shift him over just ever so slightly. There we go. Like so. That's good there. There we go. And behind that a little bit, I put some in the seam here. So what he's doing is he is really kind of breaking at this, right? That's good. See, I like that. That's good. That's good there, right? Now here, I can do this. I can go. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to take this one here, which is what this is. Now I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go right here. Get rid of all that stuff there. It's going to be interesting to see here. I'm going to fill that also with white. Okay, good. Now, I could draw directly on this, but I think what I'm going to do is take a new layer. This will be interesting. This will be very interesting. Let's take brush and hit X. If I hit X, watch what happens in these swatches here. See how that toggles back and forth? Allows us to toggle back and forth in our swatches. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so now we'll go here. There we go. Pop that off. That is the metal rod that he's holding here. And then we can, there we go. And the top of the case opens like that, kind of pops open. Now, the only thing I don't like about that is I think in one sense it should be like this here. And it should be that rod there, and then we should have right here. That should be like that. There we go. Boom, bam, bam. Yes. This. There we go. Like that is what it should be. Bam. Then it's hands. Right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select all this stuff here. And take that out. Yes. And I'm going to grab this here. I'm going to move this down and reduce the size of this a little bit. That should be right there. Yes. And T. There we go. See? So now it looks like the camera's slightly underneath him and it's showing him pull back the elements. See? And we'll do, we won't do that. Oops. Let me take this here, erase that. There we go. There we go. All right, good. So that's the show. It's actually the top of that bin, that case that opens. All right, there we go. Put this here. All right, it is now 9:59, and now the way I had the view kind of switch. What I'm going to do here is, let's see here, and take this, and Command E, this, so that is all on the same page there. That's good. And this one here, yep, that's good there. So we will, I think I'll leave that. What the heck, we'll do Command E here as well. Okay, that's good. Because like I say, these are just breakdowns. All the stuff is going to have to be drawn over. Most of it. You know, I actually be able to use some of the elements as an undercore source image. And then I can draw on top of it. Okay. Going to go here. Oh, boy, starting to yawn. That's what happens when you get tired. Go here. Okay. Good. So very, very happy with the way this is looking. I just got to make sure that the dialogue fits right. Yeah. All right. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this shot here. And what I'm going to do is take my brush, hit white again. Watch what I do here. Whoops, wrong one. Go here. Yes. There we go. So now I'll go back and we'll put the bar there. Right? There we go. So he's holding the bar in one hand, the other hand is free, and it's from his POV when you can see him holding the bar, and then he sees a little bit of, let's go here, the speckles. Yep. Okay. I like that. I think this evens up quite a bit of things that I'm working on. It clarifies it. You know, because when you're trying to do adaptation, you're trying to cover as much detail as possible, but you are also kind of making things feel a little interesting in terms of how they parlay together to move the story along. Anyway, it is now 10:02. I'll make a final statement, and now that we do that, I think, so that we can hear everything here, I'm going to go back to here, and so my name is Tim Fielder. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. My company is Diesel Funk Studios. I'm also a partner with Brother Dr. Walter Grayson and Christina Hunksbrook Lamatina for the Graphic History Company. Our book is called The Graphic History of Hip Hop. Please pick it up as a gift. You can also order Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale from HarperCollins. It is what I do. I'm here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, unless something comes up, from between 7 and 9 o'clock. I start up. Go to dieselfunk.com. I vlog every week on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, soon to be TikTok once I figure it out. It's been a pleasure to be with you guys again tonight. Thank you so much. Treat each other with kindness. Treat each other with love, because we are only here for a finite period of time. Much love to all. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.